Hey guys, Brent Gallagher here, owner of Avenu Fitness in Houston, Texas, and I wanted to talk to you today about something we like to call defining the win. This kind of spurred on after a conversation that I was having with my team. We were talking about kind of just trying to stay motivated throughout the day-to-day grind, day in, day out. You know how it is. You get stuck in the trenches, you're training your clients. Their progress, slow and steady, sometimes like a sloth coming out of a tree. Eventually they'll get it, but sometimes it's so hard to stay motivated in the sessions as that day goes on, as that week goes on. You look at it and say there has to be something worth working towards here. We know the end goal is to drop a few pounds or whatever it is that you might be trying to deliver, but what happens in the short term? How can we kind of put some vocabulary, I guess so to say, around the short-term win that helps your team stay motivated? So for us, the way that we define it in two ways here of, first, does a client continue to keep investing in your services, investing in their health, because you're creating this experience that they want to come back for. Yes, in the long term, we hope that they achieve their goals. All right, that's the long-term mission. But in the short term is that we're creating the experience each training session that they continuously keep investing versus just walking and going somewhere else. The next one is that we hope that they one day invite a friend. It goes back into are we creating such a great experience that if you go to your favorite restaurant and you want to go and bring some friends, you're going to invite them along. You're not referring them to go to the restaurant. You're actually going to invite them and say, hey, come with me. I'd love for you to experience this with me. I'd love to build our friendship more as we go to this place. I'd love for you to come over, hang out with me, and let's train together at my training facility. I promise you're going to love it here. And how do you do that? Because again, everybody's always asking these questions. Well, that's great. You've defined it. Now, what are the steps that we actually do? These are for us. Yours might be a little bit differently, but we sat down as a team and said, hey, what do we do really well? Because it's easy to analyze, when you fail at something, you look back and you go, oh, we did these things wrong. But when you're successful, sometimes we don't stop long enough to say, what made that successful? Why do people keep coming back over and over again? But for us, again, if you want to copy them, you feel free to do it here. The points will come up onto it. The first one is we look at it and say we have a cheers welcome. When somebody walks into our facility, it was like Norm walking into the bar back in the day. When he walked in, everybody shouted, Norm, top of their lungs, regardless of how Norm was feeling. And at that moment, he either come barging in there, but he gave a little bit of acknowledgement. His mood changed just a little bit, whether he was just first walking in the door or when he walked to the back, everybody there was saying hello to him when he walked in. The second thing that we do here is this team connection. And by that team connection, I'm meaning, are we getting eye contact with every single client that walks in our door? It's not just because they might be training with me that I say hello to them, or I try to make a connection by giving them a compliment or talking to them about the session, but does the rest of my entire team, all the trainers, all of us that are on the floor, anybody who might be in the back office, are we trying to make sure that we get at least a split second, 2-second little eye contact with the client to make that connection? Because then it doesn't come so much about the individual trainer, it's about this team approach that we're having. We're starting to build this team community. The next one, again, that we feel that we do really well here for us in defining this short-term win of getting clients to come back and invest and invite their friends, is we have this community connection. We try to see if there's people at 5 a.m. in the morning that might have a connection with people at 5 p.m. in the evening. Though they might not ever see each other, though they might just live down the street, but yet they don't know that they train at the same facility, we're actively listening each and every single session to think that, you know what, I know somebody in the evening that you need to meet. I would love to get the two of you connected. And it's that simple. And from there you create these friendships, even though they may not train together, but they create these friendships that now when they see each other out in public, their common connection is you and your facility because you reached out and try to help them make some friends. Next here is, can you remain surgically clean? And we say remain because it's easy to be surgically clean first thing in the morning when you open it up. But you go, well, what happens around 8 o'clock after a lot of people come through? What happens at 10? What happens at 6 in the afternoon? What happens at 8 in the afternoon? Does it look the same as it did first thing in the morning? And sometimes you might have a team being able to come through each and every single hour to clean things up. But some of you, like myself, we're not that fortunate to have somebody there that's walking behind and picking it up. Can you make it a team effort to remain surgically clean? And that is behind the dumbbells, under the dumbbells, the little dust bunnies that are twirling around that are actually probably bigger than the size of Texas that everybody can possibly see, but nobody really wants to pick it up. What do your bathrooms look like? What do your trash cans look like? It's all those small little things that make a difference for someone. Oh, and as an added bonus, look at the bathroom vent. Just look up, right above the toilet, look up right above it there. I promise you, most likely, if you don't have a team coming through on a regular basis, it's caked with dust. Reach up there, give it a little clean with a vacuum cleaner. The last thing here is, do you deliver on your brand promise each and every single session? Our brand promise is simply to give people their time back. And for us, that means that we deliver our sessions in a 30-minute window. It doesn't mean that we go in for 45, or it doesn't mean that we say, hey, that was great working out with us for 30 minutes, now you need to go do another 30-minute run. We say, no, you are coming in for our N30 program, and you're gonna train from 5 to 5:30, and we're gonna feel that is enough to help you achieve your goal. That is what our brand promise is. So each and everything that we do for our client, we try to make sure that it fits within that parameter of giving our client their time back. So it's not like a dentist's office or a doctor's office when you go in, you sit and you might start at 5:15 or you might start at 5:20 and then you'll just run over longer and longer. No, we know it that if a client is walking in the door, their session's at 5, they start at 5. If it starts at 5:30, starting at 5:30. We finish on time promptly so they can then get back to the rest of the day. Basically, let's face it, so many people are so busy. This is just another item that they're trying to check off the list. So that is basically our top 5. I challenge you to do this. Can you define the win for yourself, for the win for your facility? Get with your team, sit down, and just write for an hour. Say, hey, what do we do best? What do we do really good? And you might even look to each teammate and say, what does that person do really well? What does that person do really well? And then you come together collectively as a group and say, yeah, I think we should adapt some of these behaviors that he was doing or that she was doing. And I think we should come together and be able to write this down on a piece of paper, because once you get this solid list, when you make new hires, you can basically say, hey, here's how we do it around here. These are the boundaries with which you get to play in. Go create some art. Go create some magic. This experience when people come in the door, that they're going to, one, again, in the short term, want to continue to keep investing in your services. And then in the long term, they're going to want to truly, or they'll finally achieve those life-changing behaviors, in which we'll talk about in a future story. So again, thank you so much for joining me. Define the win. See you later.